everyone, and welcome to another episode of QTube with Q Review. And today we have, I'm not sure which way to point, but beside me is the one and only Billy Mick. Billy, welcome to QTube.
Hello, thank you so much for having me. I'm so excited to be here.
How is Florida right now?
It's not bad. We've actually had some pretty nice weather. We got some rain the last couple of weeks, which has been nice. But it's about to get real hot, I'm sure.
I would like to siphon some of that weather and bring it my way.
I know, I don't want to complain.
New song is out, Leveling Up, and with the song comes the album, Leveling Up. Tell us about the song, tell us all about it and where it kind of came from and what it's all about for you.
This song actually came out of, I was into working on the second album and I started writing stuff and I was experimenting a little more, and my engineer and I were experimenting a little more with some of the harmonies and some of the production elements and effects and stuff like that. And I was like, this is like next level for me. I'm like, I'm leveling up. I'm literally leveling up, and we're like big gamers. So to us, I'm like, oh yes, life is just like a video game. I mean, you meet people along the way, you gain strength, you learn new things, you get better all the time. So we all have that chance to level up every day of our life.
You said you're big gamers. Now, are we talking like gamers like, you know, Call of Duty, or are you more my speed, which is more Mario Kart and Mario Party?
I really like DC Universe Online, so I play a lot of that. So it's kind of a multiplayer online. Brian plays a lot of Animal Crossing. That's a very relaxing thing. But we also have recently discovered deck building games. So we kind of play those on the regular, while we like throw on like a DC movie and we'll play like our DC deck building games at the table.
Sounds a little bit like my home. So the album is also called Leveling Up. Yes. I love the fact that that's where it kind of comes from, this idea of like, you know, you're moving into the next level of maybe your career and the style of music and what's available to you. Is this full album, how, like in comparison to, I'll ask this first, full album, is it, how many tracks are you thinking that this has?
This
or
is 10.
Thinking how many does
It's 10 tracks. This one's 10 tracks.
And so the last album and this album, did you find this one now because of the last album a little bit easier, or did you find it more challenging second time around to kind of like take it to that next level, that next space?
Honestly, this one came very easily. The first one, I put so much thought into it because I wanted it to really be my introduction. There's a lot of songs on there that are about my life. There are songs that I wrote decades ago, and I put those on those albums because that's what best told that story. And for this one, I just kind of started writing, like all of this is brand new stuff in the last year. I just dove right in and was really excited about the direction everything was going. So yeah, this one feels fresher to me because again, some of those other songs are much older songs for me. Like I've had them in my head for decades. So this one's real exciting.
Is your husband, I mean, he must hear these songs quite often. So the time that an album comes out, I mean, I understand it from the artist standpoint that they're kind of like, oh my God, I've been, you know, playing these songs for so long. But as your, you know, partner in crime, he must know them off by heart. Like he must be so well versed in them.
He does. He absolutely does. It's very funny because when I first started like doing all the virtual performances, I kept forgetting my lyrics. And Brian was like, I know all these lyrics. How do you not know this?
He's your pinch hitter on the side, just kind of like feeding the lines. It's like, how did you forget?
He would stand behind the camera with pieces of paper that had the first line of the next thing. My first album's very wordy. It's a lot of words.
The entire video just focused on him with the sheets and just kind of like lifting him. one of those kinds of videos.
Yeah, we'll just do like a Love Actually video where we'll just have Brian like doing the cue cards.
Billy Actually, Brian Actually, there it is.
Yeah.
Speaking of video, you are, I mean, you're playing right there,
I
and
see that.
you love video. You do video really well. And I know that there's a video coming for this track as well. Correct?
Yes, yes, for sure.
When you sit down and you think about video, um, because you, and I know that some of your experience and your history is in different types of theater and production and performance. How challenging is it for you, who is a visual person, to get it from here to the screen? For you, do you have to kind of like tame your concepts a bit, or do you just basically dive in and kind of say, you know what, let's just go for it?
We always just dive in and go for it. What's nice is we've done a lot of productions that are very run and gun. It's like you're dressing people with whatever you have in your closet or at Goodwill. You're like, you're showing up, we're like setting up lighting, we're filming something and we're moving on. And we've done that for a lot of productions in the past. So for us, it's super easy to go, all right, here's what we're doing. We're going to go and we're going to hit these locations this day and we're going to do this and that. And it's great. It's interesting once we start incorporating other people into it, because most of the videos, like London Calling that's playing right now, it's me by myself. It's just me and Brian with a camera and a few different outfits. Incorporating other people gets very interesting and exciting. It's so nice to have that energy. And I was glad that we got to a place where we were all a little more comfortable with having people in, because most of these videos that we've made were all made during the pandemic. So trying to make sure that we're being safe and all that kind of stuff as well while we're doing it.
I can't imagine once the pandemic has passed and that, we're at a place where, people can go and you can have gatherings, larger gatherings. It'll be kind of like taking the brakes off for you, and releasing you into the wild a bit, because you'll have so much access to more spaces, more places and more people.
Yeah, I'm very, very excited about that prospect.
I'm excited to see it. And you must have so much footage from all the things that you've done, that if you did need to, you could just kind of throw a reel together of some of the things that you've gotten up to.
Yes, absolutely. And I have a couple of those little like teasers, like live performance trailer that I have on my website. I'm hoping that the video comes out really well of my show on Thursday. So I'm doing my first one-man show, and I'm gonna be like telling this. Essentially, it's all about my life, told through stories and songs, and of course a lot of jackets. So I'm filming that. So I'm hoping that all turns out really well, because if it does, then I want to kind of put that out there to the world. So I'm excited about that too.
That aspect, that performance aspect, because as I'm assuming that this will probably be your first, like, I guess, live public performance of new material for a lot of these songs. How is that for you in terms of, I know you've done prides before, but now with the pandemic, what extra challenges kind of come into play for you from the performance standpoint?
I'll be honest, the pandemic has been great for that. When I first started performing, my first show I ever did, I had 6 dancers. I wanted it big. I wanted all this kind of stuff. And then when I did Miss Gay Days, the stage was much smaller. I had myself and I had my 2 backup dancers, and that worked out perfectly. And then once I started performing virtually, it was by myself. And what was really nice about that was I got to a place where I was like, I'm comfortable going out there and just presenting myself and being myself on stage, and I don't have to have all of that, which is a nice to have, but I'm so much more comfortable performing on my own than I was before the pandemic, I think.
So, yeah. So I guess the pandemic did give you some of that buffer to be able to become adjusted to it, so that once you get back to an actual live performance, you're kind of comfortable.
Yes, definitely.
So the pandemic has had some positive things, we can say. We concentrate on the negative a bit, but there has been positives with it.
I'll be honest, I think it's been fantastic. I've gotten to spend so much more time with my husband, with my family. And again, I got to perform at Prides in the UK, at One Love Live in Canada, at another Pride in Canada, like all over the United States. So places I wouldn't have necessarily gotten to perform at or be a part of in normal circumstances.
So as a performer, I mean, and somebody who has, brand new material, brand new album, and we are heading towards Pride. I mean, it's a kind of a dicey question, but I think that it's a fair one at this point. Having the pandemic, coming out the other side of it, hopefully. Do you hope that virtual? First of all, do you hope it stays, and do you think it'll stay? The virtual approach to things.
I don't know. It's very hard to tell, and everyone is planning as though we're going to be able to have live prides, because if there's a possibility of that, you have to plan it now. And everyone is still making those plans. I know some places have already announced that they're not doing anything, and some places have announced that they will be doing virtual things. So I'm interested to see how it goes. I'm hoping the best for everyone. I know that this has probably impacted a lot of their business that a lot of these prides normally do. I mean, they have all of these events throughout the year and the fundraisers and stuff like that. So I am hoping that this hasn't impacted them poorly, so that they can come back from that.
I do hope that the virtual aspect of it stays around as well as the physical, because I think you're 100% right, where you get a chance to, see performances from artists in different countries that you wouldn't physically be able to kind of just hop on a plane and go to Norway
Right.
and catch a show. But with some of these virtual aspects, it's been great for the growth, I think, for queer artists, for sure.
Oh, absolutely. No, I totally agree. Well, and then the other thing is too, what's nice is we've gotten to a place now where people are still doing virtual shows, but they're able to get into a nightclub and perform there. So you have a little more of a production aspect. I mean, even if we get back to a live situation, we're still at a place where people have realized I can sell a $5 ticket or whatever, and somebody's going to want to watch all the virtual performances at Manchester Pride or New York Pride, or because there's a value to that. There's something that's good for all those people at home.
Absolutely. I mean, I definitely would do something like that, because it's A, more cost effective, and B, you can't always plan around like being somewhere at the same time that something else is happening. Sometimes, there's things that compete time-wise for one another, but to be able to kind of watch them virtually even afterwards would be great, because I listen to them on the radio. So
Right. Yep.
Speaking of Pride, what are you aiming at? Or what are you eyeing up for Pride? Have you secured anything? Are you looking at anything? Or, I mean, you've been at a number of them, especially in your area, in the Orlando area. But I know that you have done ones outside of that.
Right now, the only thing I have been offered is Space Coast Pride again. So I will, if all of that happens, I will definitely be there. If not, I'm pretty certain that they will do another virtual event this year. Last year, they had reached out and they wanted to do a music video like Imitation of Life, but with their staff. So we did that. I didn't want to take away from Imitation of Life, but we did it to Flesh and Bone, and it was really great. We had like all the pictures from their prides in the past, and some of their people lip syncing, and it was really nice. So I enjoy working with them. I've not really secured anything else right now. A lot of people are still kind of on the fence with like booking people yet. So that's been pushed back a little further than it might usually be. So yeah.
I've kind of taken notice of that last year it was more of a scramble because has never happened before, and this year it's more of a well, we don't want to necessarily jump the gun, so there's a little bit of push and pull that's kind of happening, which in one aspect I guess is good, because people have gotten their feet underneath them a little bit more. But at the same time, I know that performers like to know, like they like to have things secured so that they can kind of give up other dates or make themselves available for other things. So,
Right, right.
what's your favorite part of Pride?
Just having
Both as a patron, like somebody going out to Pride, and as a performer.
both. My answer's the same for both. I love everyone just coming together. Like, I love that feeling that you have whenever there's the parade that's coming by, or there's, the like marketplace where everyone is just congregating and walking by and saying hi. And it's just, there's just such a wonderful, warm sense of togetherness. And I'm so thankful that Orlando has such a strong community like that we're able to be a part of.
It's great when you do have that kind of community, because it really makes a huge difference. Just the festival and just the celebration of it all, and for the fact that people feel comfortable and safe in their environment.
Absolutely.
It makes a huge difference.
Yeah.
So what's next? Where are we going? So we've got the single, we've got the album, and the album is only on Bandcamp, correct?
Correct. Yes.
And that's for the first few months?
Yes. Yeah. I was sitting on the album. Again, the album's been done, gosh, for about 4 or 5 months.
Right.
So I've been listening to the whole thing. We got the song order right for the story arc. And I was like, gosh, I just want to put it out. I mean, I've already recorded the third song off of my next album, my third album. I've recorded
like leaps and bounds ahead.
I like being ahead, though. It's nice. We took a little more time with Taurus. We were in a pattern since 2019 of releasing something every month,
right?
Releasing a video every month. It was a lot. So with Taurus, we were like, let's just put it out and breathe. Let's just let that be a thing for a while. So we did that, and then I was really excited about getting the album out, and I like putting it on Bandcamp because it's an album. There's a beginning, middle, and end. I'm excited to put it out so that people, if they want to hear it, can hear it exactly the way I meant for it to be heard. But I will be continuing to release singles, so off the album, and the album will probably be out at the end of the year on other platforms.
I love that, because it's something that I miss with music. The idea of streaming and tracks is nice if what an artist is putting out isn't comprehensive to a collection or to an actual package or story. But what you're talking about is a more traditional album release where you're talking story arcs, and I love that. I appreciate that. That's something that I really enjoy. So Bandcamp is a great place for that.
Yeah.
So yeah, so you've got the album, that's going to be out on Bandcamp, but you already are working on songs for the third album, you said?
Yes. I have 3 recorded, and then I have another about 12 that I'm kind of playing with and seeing if this is where they fit and all that kind of stuff.
When you sit down and you're coming up with that story arc of things, I mean, you have a lot of material that you're creating. How do you have a process that you go through to kind of like pattern it down, or is it more along the lines of just kind of you have a starting and an end, and what fits the best in there?
I start with just singing the songs, just making the songs. Like I have music done for, gosh, a good 15 other songs that were possibly going to be on the first album or the second album, and now they're maybe on the 4th or 5th album. Like they don't fit in with what I'm talking about right now. So I just keep writing, and it all just falls into place, and then it's just a matter of editing and going, no, that one doesn't go here, that one goes there, and that's not the story I want to be telling right now.
You're going to be like Taylor Swift one day, and you're going to be having all these releases from the vault.
Well, I hope so. That would be fabulous.
I was gonna say, that's not a bad thing.
And I also have, we haven't announced it yet. I have kind of a secret duet that I did with somebody out in California, and I'm super excited about that. So
I may
Stay
have
tuned
heard
for
some
that.
things about that. I may have heard some things.
Maybe.
Uh, which which is exciting. Exciting. I mean,
I'm excited.
you're not known for somebody who to do duets or to do collaborations that way. You have a really strong sense of your music and your direction that you're going in. So to kind of have somebody else in there, I think that's exciting. I think I can't wait to see what that's like for you, because I think that, especially given the right person, I think that it'll be a lot of fun for you, and I'm excited for you for that.
I'm very excited about it. I'm very excited about it.
So you get to choose one person, celebrity, we'll say, that you can go out to dinner with and have their ear. Who would it be?
Oh gosh, that's really tough. Uh,
On the
I'll be honest, as a person, it would be either Tina Turner or Cher. As an artist, it would be probably Bruce Springsteen.
Oh, listen, you're lighting up my heart. Like saying names like that, Turner. Oh my God, Tina Turner's
I
amazing.
mean, the
Amazing. Um,
ultimate.
it's been like there's been so much happening in your world, and it's so exciting to watch. And at no point in time have you ever really, or at least you've never shown it, have you ever lost your spirit, or your drive? And I'm curious, like, where does that come from, that inspiration to kind of keep moving, keep barreling through everything?
You know, I've always just kind of had that mentality about life in general. And I had to kind of get to a place where I was really kind of believing in myself and what I was doing. Because when I first started, I felt like I would do something and I'd go, God, am I doing that right? Like, the hell am I doing? And then as I started going, I was like, no, my instincts are perfect. Just keep doing that. Like that, everything I'm doing is working. And so I'm very excited about it, and I feel really good about everything moving forward. Um, and I can't lose sight of that, you know. And I couldn't do any of it without my husband. So
You know what, it's and having those significant others in our court uh means the world. Like it really makes the difference.
yes, it does.
Well, the album is out, the song is out, the video's on its way.
Yes,
Third album will eventually be coming on the way. It's a Billy Mick world, and we just get to live in it, I guess.
I'm very excited about everything. Thank you so much for having me on.
Thank you. And for anybody who's watching, be sure to check out Billy. He is on Facebook, on Twitter, on Instagram, and YouTube as well. And check the links in the bio. And you need to go follow him and check out his music and follow him online. Absolutely.
Love that. Thank you
Thank you,
so much.
Billy.
Mwah.